Hello guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video here on this channel. Today we're gonna discuss all the important crypto markets here. Before we start, this is not financial advice, so yeah, this is just my opinion on the markets right now. So let's start with a top-down analysis. We're gonna start at the 3-day chart. And what we're gonna see is like this looks a bit confusing, I know, because there are a lot of drawings inside. But we see where the weekly and monthly openings are. We see the important EMAs and also the important order blocks. And yes. And on the 3-day chart, we can see the nice pattern when which Bitcoin rises. It just forms those flags and those drops, and then it starts continuing to the upper side, like we saw it here in the consolidation phase since May. And then we just started this choppy movement after we've got the next push to the upside here. We see on the 3-day chart we really bounced off the 50 EMA, and you see this 50 EMA in orange is important at every time frame. So every EMA is important at every near time frame. So the 3-day time frame is also an important one, not the importance like the daily or the weekly, but it's also a nice chart to zoom out, but not to zoom out as far as the weekly chart. But what we can see is this wick this year, and this wick is, for me, it's bearish. Why? We see this yellow line is our 50 daily EMA, and this 50 daily EMA acts as support and resistance in the past. So for example, here we have been trading above the 50 daily EMA, and then we've got this rally and really bounced off it till we saw the top in January 19. Where we then saw this nice flush to the downside as we broke down the 50 daily EMA, starting to consolidate right below it, and then getting those long positions out, entering here. And we see as soon we broke, and like, let me zoom in a bit on the daily time frame, we see we started this consolidation phase here. And also we tested it again as Donald Trump announced the Bitcoin strategic reserve. We know this was just fake news, or not fake news, but just pure market manipulation. But as we saw, we saw this nice push, but in this like god candle here, like 10% in 4 hours. But we didn't manage to break the 50 daily EMA. And here, for example, we tested it again. We tested it again multiple times, and this is where I started to buy. And then we saw this nice push upwards, and we broke it. We didn't break it. We just pushed under, and then we got a clear rejection. And now we see something different. We went down the 50 daily EMA, we broke the 50 daily EMA, then we break it to the upside, and then we again broke it to the downside, and now we're just starting to consolidate right below. But the structure is another one. Here we started the push here. Here we came from the upside, and here we come from the upside and consolidate down. So this is what I tell you. I'm not 100% bullish, but there are a few important things. We saw this order block, which gave us support on the daily time frame to enter a long position here, also aligning with the weekly and the monthly opening in September. So tomorrow we will see another opening, like the weekly opening will go to here. But let's go on the 4-hour chart. And on the 4-hour chart, it looks a bit different. Like, as I'm informing you on my Twitter every single day about the important chart analysis, like here as I did today 9 hours ago. Also, I'm doing a 10 USDT giveaway. Also here, for example, the important COT data, also the commitment of traders called. Everything on my Twitter is totally free. What's quite interesting is that we've got multiple rejections at this level, which also creates liquidity. And liquidity is one of the key concepts. So what we can see is we've got this red line here. Let me change it to yellow for liquidity. And we've got this line here also staked with liquidity. So what I want to see is price to drop to the downside like this wick. Wait, what was this really a wick, or is it just indicator? Oh, okay, so what's the indicator? I thought it was a wick. But let me show you disable this indicator. What we see is we've got liquidity here and liquidity here. So the 3 equal lows and 3 equal highs, or nearly equal highs. So what I want to see is price getting this liquidity, for example, on the downside, and just grabbing it and then pushing to the upside. So this is where big companies and hedge funds so on buy and buy and buy. And this is where I want to enter a position, or just wanted to see. Or we can expect the same thing here on the 50 daily. I mean, this is what I'm expecting, is that we will break through it. For example, today in Asia session, getting the liquidity all down, maybe also until 160,000 US dollars, which also would align with the liquidation heat map I posted on Twitter. Let me see, AirTag here, which also would align with this liquidation cluster all up to here, getting all this liquidity staked above, and then starting this flush to the downside. And maybe we don't get even a daily close above, then this would make my theory invalid. But we see these major points of liquidity, so buy side and sell side liquidity. And yeah, so what I want to see is a liquidation hunt and then a drop to the other side. What I want to tell you is I opened a short position here, and put my stop loss right above this level. Like, I am the liquidity for this liquidation hunt, but I can't lose any money because I took my profits here. So whenever I got stopped out, I won't lose any money, but my stop loss isn't to break even, so I would be out here, for example, if I entered here. So my stop loss is also right here. I also can imagine that we go to this order block here. This indicator, by the way, is totally for free. It's from Flux Charts. I'm not affiliated with this, so yeah. But this order block seems quite bearish, and I can imagine we will see another drop from here. But you have to see that we have these points of liquidity. What's quite interesting is that smart money actually starting again to reaccumulate positions. So they were long with a delta of 649 long positions, and we see large traders, they are always late. For example, at the top here, hedge funds so on started selling, and large traders bought into their sell positions. So we've got the whole different from them. And then in the crash, it's the smart money, so the companies started accumulating and the large traders are short. And we see the same picture here. Like at the top, smart money started to short Bitcoin, and the blue line started to long Bitcoin. But right now we see a reversal, and this can signify a reversal. So this isn't like we reverse right now. This is on a weekly time frame, and this doesn't have to mean we reverse right now. Like we saw it here, smart money had opened their short positions, and we were here trading at around 2 months at this level, 77 days, yes. But what's also quite interesting, retail shorted while smart money started again to accumulate, and this can signify a potential trend reversal. At Ethereum, it looks a bit different. Smart money is massively short into Ethereum, while retail is massively long. What we can see is that the retail signified our bottom, or signalized our bottom perfectly, as the index shows us retail is maximum long, while smart money is maximum in short positions. This is quite interesting data, I think, and it can help us finding the bottom. And I see Ethereum, the smart money is so short. There are so many short contracts. They never had so much short positions opened. Yes, so large traders are maximum long. Smart traders are commercials are maximum short. Okay, let me see whether we can see here a bottom building, and then we can also enter with the smart money. Okay, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and in the end, I want to give you my personal plan for the next upcoming weeks and days. I want to see this liquidation hunt. I can see Bitcoin grabbing this liquidity here, and then we can have this run to 150,000. My target 160, 150,000. This is quite realistic to me. We can also imagine, as we see this this COT, commitment of traders report, that the whales, the commercials, are starting to open new long positions. This could signify another leg up in the next few weeks and months. But this doesn't have to mean we have to start a leg up right now, but we can grab this liquidity and then starting to the upside. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we see us in the next video. Bye bye.